say hello.
Hello.
You didn't do it, you missed your moment. Has today been incredible?
Yes.
How many of you were ready to leave like 2 hours ago? And just go home and just get to work? Raise your hands. For all the people that are online streaming, thank you for streaming. We look forward to seeing you in person at our upcoming events. We're glad that you're with us in whatever way you could be. But let me talk to everybody that's here right now.
All right.
How many of you that are here right now, it costs a bunch of money to get here? Raise your hands. Look around, look around, look around. How many of you are going to be paying for this event after this event? To Mr. Visa.
MasterCard.
Right? How many of you drove a long way to get here? More than 3 hours. More than 4 hours. More than 6 hours. More than 7 hours. More than 8 hours. More than 10 hours. More than 12 hours. More than 13 hours. 14 hours. 15 hours. 16 hours. Got you to 16 hours. 17 hours. 18 hours. If you're in this room and you drove over 10 hours to get here, stand up. All the 10 hours and more people. You could have stayed home. You could have said it's far. You could have said we don't have the money. You could have said I've got things going on Monday. My schedule's packed. You could have said, you didn't say, you did what you had to do to get here today. We want to say thank you for trusting us, because we promise those of you that paid the highest price are going to get the greatest training benefits. Because when something is hard, you grow.
Yes.
There are people that live 30 minutes. They're like, I'm tied up this week, and you've lost your ever-loving mind. Real talk. And if you're looking at me like, I'm talking to you. What do you want me to say? Because if someone could get in their car and drive hours, drive a day. Kelly and Mel Walker, 17 hours from Chicagoland to get here with their son in the car, because they want more for themselves. So for those of you that actually legitimately got off your and you made no excuses, give yourselves a round of applause. Dang, I haven't even hit the button yet. I better hit the button. I'm here to talk to you about events. This is an event. I'm so glad I'm at this event. I was going down the hallway and I was meeting people and they were taking photos and we were taking photos and they're like, we're so excited. I'm thinking I'm more excited than you. Because this event for me is a game-changing event. I don't know, but something's in my spirit right now where it's just like, I'm vibrating. Like I know it's about to happen when we get home. Like I'm here. By the way, just so you know, like we're all vibrating all the time because we're beings that have atoms, and atoms are constant vibration. So you're constantly moving all the time. Like you may be still, but you're never still. You're never still. And as you're sitting in that chair right now, you should be vibrating with me, because right now, we're about to go on the greatest run we've ever had in our company in 25 years. Let me get to this training. It's about the events. So we had this, how many of you are with us at the cruise that we just had to La Badie? Raise your hand if you were at the cruise. Oh, man. Yeah. So I went on one cruise in my life. Before this cruise, I said, I will never, ever go on another cruise ever again, ever. I won't name the cruise line. I'll just say it was not the best experience. It was a terrible experience. And I said, I'll never do it. So when Asian said we're doing a cruise, I'm like, I'm going to do it because it's Asian and I'm coachable and it's a free trip. I'm just keeping it real. I'm like, look, meals included? All right, let's just do it. But when I got on this cruise ship, OMG. Let me tell you something. This thing costs $1.4 billion to build. $1.4 billion. So I walk in and I'm looking at all the other 87 people. I'm thinking, oh, we're about to have a week up in here. Was that an incredible experience, everybody? That was on the cruise. Was that an incredible experience? I mean, I went swimming in the waters of Labadie outside of Haiti. I'm sitting there, I'm like, I am in the water right now on an island that I've never heard of, created by this cruise line. For me to sit in this water because I went to a meeting. I went from a room in Pennsylvania hearing this presentation, and I'm floating in the waters and I'm feeling myself. I'm like, yes, Lord. I'm having this like Lord loves me moment. And I'm sitting in this water, I'm thinking, what if I had not gone to that presentation to see this business for the first time? Because it's all about choices, right? Mm-hmm. You can go, not go. You can show, not show. I went. So for all of you, one of the most incredible incentives we've ever had was a getaway to a place called Xcaret. My daughter still talks to me about Xcaret. She's like, Daddy, can we go back to Xcaret? I'm like, baby, I'm thinking, I know the cost of this place. I'm like, baby, look. I was like, it's gonna happen in time. You know how we lie to our children. Good lies though. So I'm like, it's gonna happen in time. So when I get the news that of all the incentives we had, I think Xcaret was probably one of the most, for those who were there, was it one of the most popular, like, was it mind-blowing? It was unbelievable. Boris, do you have a great time, Boris? Renata had a great time? It was unbelievable. There's the photos, like, it was an unbelievable experience. But I want to kind of give you a glimpse of to what it was. I wish you were there, but that was for 22. So I want you to just have a chance just to listen to this really fast, just to see this. Just ask yourself, how do you feel?
ACN knows you've been working hard. So get ready to live the paradise life. All inclusive in Mexico. Networking with ACN's top producers and co-founders for training, learning, and fun. With 10 different 5-star restaurants, infinity pools, immaculate excursions, and a great nightlife, make sure we see you there.
For 2023, so let me share this with you. Why is this such a big deal? Because now you can go. All new senior vice presidents, you're invited to go. New RVP Platinum, so you saw the new RVP Platinums, they're invited to go. Top 20 RDs in open line for the year to date, they're invited to go. Top 25 RVPs, you're invited to go. Top 10 SVPs, you're invited to go. Now you may be thinking to yourself, well, I just signed up last night. I understand that. Here's what you need to do. Go marry one of these people. It's inappropriate. I know you're with me to win, and they're great. Just saying, they may not be going to Xcaret, so. Sorry. So for everyone that's here right now, you should be running online to look at your reports to see where you rank. And if you don't see your name on that list, fight to get there if you're in one of those categories. Is that fair with everybody? Because you don't know where this business is going to take you. Because what I learned in this business was that these training events are going to do more for you than you could ever do for yourself. We don't have enough time for me to tell you the number of people whose lives I've seen transformed in this company, starting with my own. Because my first training event I went to in Philadelphia, they told me I needed to go. I went to that Saturday training. I'd never been in an environment that positive before. How many of you just love the positivity of the environment that we have? It was like nothing I'd ever experienced before in my entire life. And I'm sitting there and everyone's so happy and smiling, and I came out of an environment that was negative. How many of you have been around negative people? How many of you ever talked to someone and immediately after you've talked to them, you were sleepy? Mm-hmm. Here's a health fact. Did you know when you eat something that you're allergic to, it makes you tired? Immediately, not like one day, like immediately, you get immediately tired. We're allergic to some people. We keep them in our phones because of family, whatever the reason is, but you know what I'm talking about. And some other people, the moment you see their name and caller ID, you just get energized. You know what I'm talking about? So when I come to my training event, everybody's so happy and smiling and laughing. I'm thinking, what? This is different. I remember I was thinking, don't touch me, because I don't know what these people have. And everybody's so positive. I don't know what you're on. Don't touch me. I sat in a room at the back of the room by the door, because I'm like, whatever this is, I don't know what this is, but if it goes down, I'm getting out first. I know that for a fact. I didn't understand what it required to be successful in this company. You see, the services and the company, that's just what it is. The compensation plan, that's just what it is. But the presentations, the training events, begin to change you. You see, because the comp plan, you can't control that. That's what it is. The services, they are what they are. So how is it in one same opportunity where some people are achieving, walking across the stage and getting recognized for all this stuff, somebody else in the same company at the same time is struggling? And let me tell you what it comes down to. It comes down to just the belief system. And the success of your team is going to be how many people believe that this is possible for them. But it starts with your first Zoom meeting. Your first Zoom meeting is your introduction to ACN. It's the thing that you promote. Some of you have meetings scheduled right now. You heard Ms. Monica speak earlier, and you've already scheduled meetings. And if you haven't, you need to do that. But you also have in-person presentations that are taking place, virtual events that are taking place. These are all things not just for you to get on. You should get on and ask, how many people are on with me? Like, so if I understand what the compensation plan is, I understand that to be an RVP, I need to have at least 4 teams. Does that make sense to everybody? So if I need to have at least 4 teams in order to move to RVP, then every event that I attend, I should have at least how many teams represented?
4.
Does it just make sense? Because instead of moving in isolation, if you move together, so right now we're at this Emerge event. You should be thinking to yourself, how many teams do I have here right now? Because when people leave our events, they're going to see the business at a very different level. But sometimes people don't understand the importance of these events. Like, I'm relentless. You talk to Melvin, right? Like, I'm relentless. I'm like that itch you can't scratch. You're like, it's over there. No, he just moved. It's over there now. I refuse. Look, I'm never going to try and convince you to get into ACN, but I'm going to absolutely fight to get you to an event. Because I know that one day with us can change your entire life. Not everybody's life has changed from an event, but everybody's life has come from an event. And so these events provide information. And the information, how many of you, when you heard Greg Savage talk about Flash Mobile, how many of you were like, oh my God, like that was great. And if you're sitting there with your cell phone, you're like, I can do that. But you were here, that's how you heard it. And because you now understand that, it creates a belief in you. But again, you don't want to believe alone. For those of you of the faith, you know, when Christ performed miracles, it was never in secret. All miracles were in full display. Why? Go tell someone what you've just seen. But if you don't attend and you don't have your people attend, how many of you wish you had like 15, how about 5? 5 more people here right now than you have right here, right now. How many of you wish you would have had a stronger conversation with your team about being here? Don't you? Well, now that you know what you know, it's about taking action. Because when people are excited, they will take action. Because these events that you have, you use these things for yourself, but it helps to build your team. All I got good at in this business was one thing, was telling people you gotta come see this. Because I couldn't explain this. I could not explain what I was seeing. I was so excited when I left my first training event. I was so ready to just go. Everybody say go.
Go.
Look at the person to your left and right and say go.
Go.
I was just ready to go.
Go.
I'm looking at them like, I'm like, oh my God, I'm getting on that stage one day. That's me. When I saw those people behind the microphone, here's what I do. I go to an event and I take a photo, a selfie, and be like, I would sneak on the stage. Don't do this. Dan is mean, and he will hurt you. I used to sneak on stages to take photos of myself to say one day I'm going to be on that stage.
That's right.
Yeah.
You got to live into a future, but you can't live into the future you haven't seen. Say that again. You can't live into the future you haven't seen.
Come on now.
What's great about the future we create in this company is that we give you a display of what that future is.
That's right.
So this isn't imagination, this is memory.
That's right.
You have to be here to remember what you've seen here. But now you have to go share it.
All right.
You have to share it with people. It's designed for new people. So here's what you've got to get really great at. You've got to get great at promoting events. If you mess up everything in this business, but you get good at this one thing, let me tell you what I've done to get people to events. First of all, I'm going to give you my James Adlam's magic phrase for promoting events. This is magic. Magic. Everybody say magic.
Magic.
That is the French way of saying magic.
Magia.
This is James Adlam's way of getting people to trust him to events. Listen. Repeat after me. Listen.
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 You need
Me.
to trust me and go with me.
Me.
I know you're thinking, oh my God, a breakthrough. I know. I can see it. But I want you to understand why it's magic. Because first I came and I believed everybody needed to be with me. So when I'm saying it to you, it's not a script, it's from a belief system.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Mary, you need to trust me and you need to go to this event with me. Well, I got work. Mary, you need to trust me and you need to go to this event with me. How many of you had a work conflict? So how are you here? We got on it. Stand up for a second. Let me slide on down the stage here, right quick. Say your name. Desiree. When we talked to you about this event, what did you say? I have work. And what did I say on that Zoom to you?
You need to tell them you can't go.
You need to tell them. And what did you do?
I told them I can't go.
I told you. And then what happened? I'm not just talking, I'm walking my talking. She's like, I can't work. I'm like, what would they do if you couldn't show up? I don't know. Let's find out. Hey. We will not share this video with them, however, at that job. Sometimes you got to do something. I remember at a pharmaceutical sales conference in Vegas the same weekend as my first national event, and they're like, well, you got to, I'm like, and they're like, James, you got to go. I'm like, I can't miss it. I have to go. They're like, James, you have to go to this event. I started coughing. Now, considering what we've all just experienced over the last 2 years, the cough is the most powerful way. They'll be like, no, don't come. I'm like, I can make it. No, don't make it. Okay, you're probably right. The last training of James Adlam. All right. You need to tell your story. Hey, look, Pete, I had a chance to go to this event in Dallas, and I can't believe what I saw. The people that I saw, what I heard. look, there's an event coming up. I need you to see this business. I need you to see what I'm doing. First, they got to see the presentation. When they see the presentation, then they go to the training event. Saturday training live, Saturday training in person, trainings during the week, doesn't matter. They need to see a training event. But after that training event is done, the conversation has to be had over these larger scale events. Because what these events could do for that person is plant in their mind the seed of possibility. That's what it does. It shows you a bigger perspective. You need to talk about the people. I saw this gentleman speak. His name is Dean Turali. He's out of California, has a background as an actor. Look, actors in this business, like, oh my God, I saw this other young lady. She's an attorney. Whatever it is, you're talking about the success of the people that were there. Why? Because people are interested in meeting interesting people. The other part of it is you want to create curiosity. I have no idea what's coming, but we got to go. You need to trust me. You got to go with me. And I've had people get on with me and they're like, I still can't make it. I have other people talk to them. Why? Because as a senior vice president or as a regional director, as a new person, there's nothing more powerful than getting other people involved in the conversation. You see, Miss Rhonda got me involved in the conversation. Why? Because she understood that sometimes the relationship is so close, they can only hear you to a point. But when you have another person speak, I have people do that for me all the time. I don't care what level you are in the company. I don't care if we're in the same organization. We're all in ACN. I'm going to get as many people on. Look, we're going to get one after another, lining them up until you say yes. Imagine a line. I would have every one of these people in this room right now, all of you, talk to one person about this event. Because that one person, it could change their life. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yes.
So tell stories. Tell your story. You should be sharing at a totally different level of confidence right now than before you came here. You shouldn't go home and think, man, I want to get a $200 bonus from ACN. What if you could do more than that? What if you could throw a comma in there? You know, they created commas for a reason. Are we good?
Yeah.
So I grew up in Jamaica and in a town called Mandeville. Anyone been to Mandeville?
Yes.
2 of you. 3 of you. 4 of you, 5 of you, 6 of you, 7 of you, 8 of you, 9 of you, 10 of you. Okay, you're mine. All right. So Mandeville is part of the cool, so Jamaica has a cool part, where it's just a little bit cooler than other parts. And I grew up in that part. So when I was growing up, we had a farm. Raised goats and chickens. I remember I had a pet goat named Billy. Remember the story, 3 Billy goats grow? I was really creative as a child. I named the child Billy. I named the goat Billy. What I didn't expect one day was, like in Jamaica, we love food. I didn't expect one day to have goat meat and no Billy. Sorry, I'm having a moment. That wasn't part of my training. That just hit me. But being on a farm, you learn a lot. And one of the things you learn about is you just learn about work. You see, I want you to imagine that this opportunity, like yourself, is a seed. Now, what's so fascinating about the seeds of that hand, the seeds themselves is you see the thing, but you don't see the thing that the thing carries. You don't see that. You just see the seed. So if I took 5 different types of seeds and threw them right here in front, you wouldn't know what would grow from any of those seeds. You just see seeds. That makes sense to everybody. Man, I really hope y'all pay attention to this part. What you don't realize is that in order for that seed to grow, the environment has to be right. Because a seed can stay in your hand, on your table, in a jar, on a floor, for 1,000,000 years, turn into nothing. But seeds require certain things. They require earth, require sunlight, requires water. Those things will always be standard. What farmers do is they take seeds and put them in an environment that is not natural. Think about what I'm saying to you. Aren't there trees that just grow without a farmer? They do, right? But a farmer takes seeds, moves them to this plot of land and says, I'm going to make something grow here, even though it was growing over there. You go to your local supermarket and they'll say, oranges from California. They're growing things, but they're choosing to move things to a place that is not natural for that growth. So when you join our business, I look at myself and I look at you and I look at the opportunity like a seed. And I can see you, but I cannot see what comes from you.
Come on now.
And some of you have hundreds of lives to be changed inside of you right now. You just see you sitting here and you see the person sitting next to you, but you don't see what will come from the people sitting next to you, and you don't know what comes from you. So here's the challenge when you're a farmer. Faith.
Amen.
Farmers have the ultimate faith. They buy this land, they buy this equipment, they have these seeds, they say, I'm going to plant and I believe something's going to grow. No guarantee of anything. What if the rain doesn't come? What if the sun is too scorching? What if the land has acidic? Then nothing's going to grow. But farmers believe, and we right now benefit from the fact that every single farmer has provided something for us with total faith. Now, here's the challenge. In order for that thing to grow, sometimes it's got to grow through something. Some people, you've got to grow through something. That's why these environments are so important. That lazy you won't work here. That excuse making you won't work here. You got to push through those rocks. That surrounding yourself with other people, sometimes they are your rocks. I believe most rocks are in your head. If you would sit and think to yourself, I've been given by God, the Creator, the gift of life. I am alive right now. I can, by sheer thought, create an entirely new reality by thought and effort. All I have to do is the work. And some people cheat themselves, because if you look at the hand of a farmer, it's always callous. God gave, let me recap. God gave water. You didn't have to do that. God gave sun. You didn't have to do that. God gave earth. You didn't have to do that. God gave seed. You didn't have to do that. All you have to do is work. You gotta work. It's not gonna grow itself. This isn't gonna grow itself. You gotta work. But if you work, the seed you plant will grow far beyond what you have planted. Because if every seed we grew or planted grew into one thing, we would starve. The good Lord, in all of the wisdom, every seed planted multiplies exponentially. Inside of that apple is a seed, but you don't know how many apples come from that seed because you don't know how many trees come from that seed of that apple. I don't know how many RVPs are going to be birthed from you. Or SVPs from you. I have no idea. But what I do know is this: nothing is going to grow for you in the desert of negative thinking.
Amen.
That negative thinking that's praised on social media, that your friends, you call them, oh, did you hear Billy Bob died today? You know what? Hey, I'll talk to you later. Why? I can't infect my mind with all of that. Some people, that's all they do.
Yeah.
They look for what's wrong. What's wrong every day? We come here, this is not what we do. We want to see what's right in you. What's great about you? I say to a young lady in the hallway, you look so nice. She's like, oh, this whole thing? No, you look great. Can you even take, does that make sense, everybody?
Yeah.
Like, nothing grows in a desert mind that is barren of joy and dreams and imagination and hope and possibility and faith. Nothing grows. But if you're willing to do the work with us and not just farm and help us identify the next seeds to be planted into this company, because you didn't come with the comp plan, you didn't come with the services, you didn't have to develop any of that. All we have to do is do the work. And if we're willing to work, there is an amazing harvest for all of us.
Oh, yeah.
But you have to be willing to work. The world needs less talkers, more workers.
Mm.
So, if you're with me, well, first of all, are you with me?
Yeah.
If you're with me, how many of you are willing to think big? Maybe bigger than you've ever thought before.
Yes.
And when you think big, prepare yourself that the small you's gonna step in at some point and start talking. Tell it, shut up. I'm busy. Oh, but you don't have the money to go, shut up. You sniveling, whining self. I'm busy being big over here. I'm building over here. I'm going to Costa Mesa, California over here. I'm taking people with me to what will be the event of 2023, the Elevate event in Fort Worth, Texas. We're going to be back in Texas for our first national event of 2023 in March 10th through the 11th. My question for you is, what level will you have on this stage when we come back to Texas in March? Are you going to be hoping, wishing, or are we calling your name out?
Call
Are we
in.
calling your business partners' names out?
Yes.
How about you walk this stage as the next RVP, the next RVP Platinum, the next SVP and Platinum SVP? How about you be the one that, because you are willing to do the work, you change your family's lives? How about that? You live in America. This is the easiest country in the world to achieve anything. I don't care what the news says. Ignore those people. They have low IQs and microphones. This is the single greatest opportunity country in the world. In the world. We're not perfect, but this is America. And since you're in this room with me, let's do something great. And let's help other people do something great. Let's be great for 23. Starts now. Get to the event. Register for Elevate. We can't wait to see you there. God bless. Have a great day.